wanted to do my part 3 of scarf masking today. So I hope you all enjoy it. I'm going to ramble about nothing in particular. So my first scarf of the day is actually a bandana. So I don't know if you're able to see it. This says Ben Folds on it, and it has firefly and lightning on it. So as part of my job, I work with a lot of weird musicians. I don't want to say weird, that's not the right word. I work with a very large amount of different styles and types of musicians, I guess. And recently we worked with Ben Folds, which was very interesting. Now, I'm not a particular Ben Folds fan. I like his music. I don't dislike it, but I'm not like a particular fangirl or anything. I really only know the one song. But I saw this bandana and I really liked it. I think in particular the dragonfly, the lightning bug imagery, and the lightning. So I thought this would be a fun thing to have for my scarf masking video. So this is fabric number 1 for this particular video. So now I'm going to do my darndest to tie this in a way that makes the most sense for the scarf masking. What do you think about this? I feel a little bit like an old-timey bank robber, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I'm not sure how much I love the lighting for this video. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily know if it's exactly what I'm going for. So anyway, here is my Ben Folds lightning bug, lightning bandana as part of my scarf masking video. Now, I wrote down a list of topics that I could ramble about. Whether or not I go with these topics or not really depends on my mood, I guess. But the first thing I wanted to draw attention to, possibly you've noticed, I mean, it's hard to tell now because I have this thing in front of my face. I am not wearing any makeup today. Not a lick of makeup. Nothing on my eyes. Nothing on my face, which of course, the worst part of my face is covered by this beautiful bandana. But I guess the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is makeup, is self-esteem, is, I guess, how we as women, as girls, feel about ourselves with or without makeup. Now, for a very long time, I wore makeup every single day, regardless of what I was doing or where I was going. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think lots of people do it, men and women. And there's nothing wrong with putting your best foot forward. And I think makeup, in some ways, is an expression of self, but it's also artistic expression. no one actually believes that your lips are purple or that your eyelids are green or whatever it is you decide to do. No one believes that that is true or natural or the way you look without makeup. But it allows you to have more authority, more artistic freedom over what you look like, how you present. It tells a story about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what's meaningful to you, what isn't. So in that way, I think makeup is a very good thing, and that we are able to express our own individuality using makeup as kind of our palette for that. But then we get into the other part of makeup. The idea that we must always wear makeup to cover all of our flaws. That if we leave the house without makeup, we are somehow leaving the house incomplete. That without makeup, we are not our best selves. And I don't believe that. I think a lot of people feel pressured to wear makeup, to look a certain way, to present a certain way. And by all means, if you love makeup, you should wear makeup. Makeup is fun. Makeup has a lot of opportunities to express yourself, express your individuality. I think the problem really comes when we feel like, women especially, if it's a fancy event or a fancy thing, makeup is part of our costume for said fancy event. Like, if I were to go to a very fancy event and I were to do my hair up and I were to wear a fancy gown and a fancy dress and fancy shoes, if I didn't do my makeup, I would feel incomplete. And that is because makeup, like many other things, is kind of an accessory. And like I said, that's not really a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with using makeup as another tool in our kit, so to say, to look better, to feel better about ourselves. The problem comes when it becomes a necessity. When we are expected to wear makeup, otherwise we are not professional, otherwise we are not put together. I've seen employers and employees equate wearing makeup to wearing deodorant, to showering, and it's not the same thing at all. Wearing deodorant is you're trying to negate any smells that might potentially be unpleasant for you or others, and showering, same thing. You're trying to be clean. And makeup is not cleanliness. Makeup is art. And art is special and unique to every person. But if you don't feel like being, that's not the right phrase. If you don't feel like putting forth the effort to create a new work of art every day, why do you need to be Picasso, to go to your job, to go to the grocery store, to go to the library, wherever you may go? I love makeup. I really do. I use makeup. I wear all kinds of makeup. I wear eyeliner and mascara, and I do lots of stuff to hide my acne. And of course my video isn't super great, so it's hard to tell, but I have acne and some red spotting up here and lots of acne that's actually being hidden by this bandana right now. that, you know, I don't love, and I don't consider it a part of me. So by putting on makeup and helping to hide and cover these things, I feel like I'm becoming more of myself. And not everyone feels that way. Some people feel like they become less themselves when they wear makeup, and that's fine too. I think the importance in accepting other people and accepting other people's choices is understanding that some people want to do things and some people don't, and that's okay. Wearing makeup is not inherently a bad thing or an anti-feminist thing or a patriarchal thing. Wearing makeup is an amazing tool that women have, and if we choose to use it, that's great, and if we don't, that's fine too. And I guess in a similar way, men should be able to have that in their toolkit as well. There's nothing to say that that painting our face with different colors, with different anything, is feminine or masculine, and it's a tool to hide or enhance or to speak volumes about ourselves. And I don't think that should be limited only to female presenting individuals. Yeah, so I guess that's my first point on this first thing is makeup is great if you like it, and unnecessary if you don't like it. You know, I think everyone has their own feelings on that. It reminds me a little bit of those people who talk about like headscarves or hijabs or anything like that. I've heard some people say that it's, you know, it's anti-feminist, that it's, you know, it's restricting their choice, it's whatever. But I don't think that's necessarily I don't think that's the truth. I think that we should be accepting of people, whatever they decide to do. If they want to wear a scarf or hijab or whatever, that's their choice, and they should have the ability to do that without fear of any sort of repercussions, and they should have the ability to not do that without fear of repercussions. Anything like that. It reminds me a little bit of like, what is it? That feminist idea that like women are not needed to have children, they don't need to be stay-at-home moms, they don't need to do XYZ, whatever. And I agree, and my personal choice is I don't necessarily want or need to be a mom. And my career is very important to me. But that's my opinion. That's for me. I think it's important that we recognize that every single person in the world has different priorities, different desires, different needs, and that one need, one desire is not above any other, and that the true freedom is being able to choose, whether that is being a stay-at-home mom, whether that is having a career, whether that is whatever it is. That freedom is the ability to make that choice, you know? So I get really frustrated with people that are like, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom, you have these kids, whatever, you're not a true feminist. And no, that's not true. I mean, people, women, anyone should have the ability to choose, whether that's career, whether that's family. I mean, that's up to them, and that we should allow them and give them every opportunity as anything else, you know? it's weird because I feel like I'm just kind of preaching with no research and really nothing. And my headphones are falling out, so I can't even hear myself that well. I feel like I'm just preaching with, like, no actual science or research or anything to back it up. These are just my own thoughts, obviously. So I guess I should add another scarf. I've talked long enough without actually saying much. So this is not actually a scarf. This is a headband. Let's see if I can, well, I don't even know what to call it, because it can be used as a headband. It can be used as a lot of things. It's pretty long. This is what it looks like without, stretching anything. So this is a headband accessory, I don't know what to call it, that was gifted to me by my soon-to-be mother-in-law. And I have nothing but kind things to say about her. Anyway, you don't need to get into that part of my personal life. So this is a lovely, is this called chevron? No, it's not. I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like rectangular dots with like red and different shades of blue and such. I use this headband as part of my Estelle cosplay, my cosplay costume. My kind of like flirty, sassy mystic is kind of how I use this. And I've used this in a lot of different ways, like in my personal life. I think it works best as a headband. But I thought it might be nice. I could kind of use this as another mouth cover, since people seem to like, the more I cover my mouth, people seem to like it. I don't know, I guess you guys don't want to hear me ramble. I know it's kind of all I do, as I ramble and I ramble. And I talk and I talk. Not even about anything in particular or anything important. I just talk and talk and talk. Now I know that I'm going to call this a scarf masking video, and I haven't even shown off one scarf. Is that false advertising? I don't know. Now, this thing in particular always reminds me of is, when I used to actually pretend to like sports, I guess. I used to be a part of 2 different roller derby teams, actually. One before I moved, one after I moved. And I really like roller derby, and I worked really hard on it. I'm not currently skating, I'm not currently in roller derby, and that's more because of laziness and my schedule than anything else, I guess. I want to do more roller derby. I love it. I really need to get into more like physical things. I feel like I haven't actually like stretched my muscles or done anything physical in a really, really long time. So yeah, I've done roller derby for, I guess, like 2 years, I guess, if you want to count it that way. Other physical things I have done, I have taken an instructor course for pole dancing. So currently I am technically able to teach pole 1, pole 2, lap dance 1, lap dance 2, desk, and a stretch and strengthen course. So I'm technically able to teach 6 different courses. And I have made several different pole dance routines, and I really enjoy pole dance. There's something kind of amazing about really owning your sexuality, and of course, I've never performed any sort of pole dance routine for any men or male identifying folks. I've really only ever done it for myself and for other women, like in my pole dancing class. But there's something just so freeing about really being able to express yourself and to be kind of as obnoxiously sexy as you want without really fear of anybody looking at you weird, or because they're all doing it too, you know. Oh God, I kind of miss pole dancing, and I kind of miss roller derby. I really should get back to them. I've just been so busy lately, I've been very busy, and they're expensive. They're expensive hobbies. I briefly considered getting into kickboxing, but that's another one that's kind of on the expensive end, so I haven't really explored too much with that. I've recently signed up for a stage combat class. I haven't taken it yet, so I can't really say anything about it, but I'm pretty excited. I've never done anything like that before. I've always considered myself kind of a theater kid. So, I've been in a lot of plays. I've been in a lot of shows. I've done a lot of theater in a lot of different ways. But I've never actually, I've never done any stage combat. I think part of that is that I am a girl, and I'm very female presenting, and I've only ever have roles that were female presenting. And of course, a lot of the older roles, I guess, the older shows only really have men fighting. And I think that's changing as we're getting more and more, contemporary artists and more female artists. I think it's changing. It kind of reminds me, my very first anime was Revolutionary Girl Utena. And I probably brought this up at some point or another, I don't know. I've done a cosplay of Revolutionary Girl Utena. I find her look so cool and unique, and honestly, I think I was really affected by it when I was a kid. The idea of a girl being a prince, and she still strongly identifies as a girl. She is a girl, she's a woman, but she's still a prince, and she's still interested in, being that archetype and in protecting people and being strong. Anyway, the anime is so amazing. So many amazing sword fights, and that's what that stage combat class made me think of, is Utena and all the amazing sword fights and all the amazing imagery in it. Revolutionary Girl Utena was actually my very first manga. It was gifted to me by my parents when I was very young, and I just remember later in life my mom being like, wow, I don't understand why you're such a nerd. Why do you like these things? I don't understand. And I'm like, you started it. You gifted me a very lesbian-focused girl power anime when I was quite young. And I don't want to say that was a major influence in my life, but it wasn't not a major influence in my life either. So, you know, I recently went to Half Price Books, and I bought 3 different volumes of the Revolutionary Girl Utena manga. And it wasn't like 3 consecutive. I'm pretty sure it was 2, 3, and 5. 5 is the last, so I'm really only missing 1 and 4. But that was all they had at Half Price Books, so I just bought what they had. Eventually I'll own 1 and 4, you know. I also bought a lot of other manga that I have sort of like a weird relationship to, I guess. One in particular that I keep coming back to is Marupuri. And I really wish I could remember what the actual translation was in English. But essentially, a very, very, very young boy turns into an older man. I think at night. It's been a while since I've read it. I think he turns into an older man at night. And this girl that originally helped him, because he's from an alternate dimension, obviously, kind of becomes his first love. But, you know, he's a child and she's like a teenager, high schooler. But at night, he becomes older. It's like this really weird love story. I don't know. I read it when I was young, when I was just a budding nerd, and it stuck with me for whatever reason. So when I was at Half Price Books and I saw it, I had to buy it. So now I have the first volume. I have a lot of really like weird manga that I remember reading and enjoying when I was younger. And I don't know, there's something about reading manga that was important to you, or anything, honestly. Reading manga, reading books, TV shows, anime, whatever it is, and like coming back to it as an adult and being able to look through it with nostalgia from when you were a kid. It's something special. You know? I feel like I should actually do a real scarf now for my scarf masking video. I know in an earlier video I had talked about having homemade scarves in all my videos. Unfortunately, I did not finish it in time for this video, so the next time I will have that lovely purple thing in my video. Anyway, so let's have a real scarf in this one instead of these like weird half scarves. So this is a scarf from India. This was actually originally given to my younger sister. I don't remember, in my previous scarf masking video, I had this like blue greenish and black scarf shawl thing that had like polka dots on it. That was my gift when my father went to India. And my sister received this one, just kind of like a solid orange. And that was her gift from India. Well, my sister doesn't like scarves. She doesn't like shawls. So she was like, here, Nicole, have this. So, of course, I took it. You may sort of recognize this. I used it as a backdrop in my Estelle psychic roleplay video. Oh, it's kind of wet. Did I spill something on it? I probably spilled something on it. Oh, shoot. I spilled my sake all over the table and I didn't even realize it. I was so engrossed in talking. Oh, goodness. Anyway, so I have this lovely scarf. I think he said it was either cashmere or pashmina. There's no way that's actually true, though, right? Like, anyway. So this lovely orangey thing. I'm trying to decide what the best way. So I had someone ask if I would just, like, straight up cover my whole face. So I guess I'll do that first. I don't know how long I'm actually going to do this for. until I get bored, maybe. I don't know. So this scarf, this shawl is originally from India. My father's job has him traveling a lot, and he goes to India a lot, especially. So when he asked what I wanted as a souvenir, I told him a scarf, specifically for you guys, because you seem to really enjoy these scarf basking videos. And I wanted to make sure I had lots of scarves to accommodate that desire. So here I am, covering my full face. I'm pretty sure someone requested this. I didn't just come up with it on my own, I swear. Although, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I did. Ugh, I keep running into weird wet spots from how I spilled my beverage. Oh dear, oh dear. What can I talk about now? I have this lovely orange shawl in front of me. I guess the most recent thing I remember talking about is Revolutionary Girl Utena. So, Revolutionary Girl Utena. Like I said, it was my very first manga, and it is kind of lesbian focused, I guess. Perhaps, maybe. One of the many things about Utena is kind of talking about her specific sexuality, because it's complicated depending on who you ask. So I've once heard someone say that Utena is very easy to project oneself onto. And I think that might be true. She's not a blank slate entirely, but she's enough of a blank slate that whatever you are, whatever you're looking for, she can provide. I was about to say as a bisexual, it's complicated. I'm not sure how all of you categorize your own sexuality. I think, especially nowadays, that can be kind of complicated. It can be complicated. Anyway, I as a bisexual, I guess, I see Utena also as a bisexual. It's very clear that by the end of the anime, that there is romantic feelings for Anthe, one of the other characters, a female character. So in that way, she is definitely, at least, to a certain degree, attracted to females. But then the real question is she ever attracted to men? Is she ever attracted to male characters? And that's kind of more, that's like the real question. Because she's obviously attracted to women throughout the show. But is she ever attracted to men? And if she is, it doesn't mean as much as when she's attracted to women. And I don't necessarily know the answer. I think that Utena as sort of a blank slate character, I mean, she could be whatever you need her to be. I mean, she's interested in women, definitely. But whether or not she's interested in men is kind of up to debate. Anyway, now that I have the scarf off my face, you can kind of see, I'm not wearing makeup. Conceal the dishes on my face. I don't have eyeliner on. I don't have mascara on. Nothing of the sort. I just thought that was relevant to show now that I don't have anything on my face. Anyway, I have semi-recently been trying to figure out how to define my own sexuality. Because I am incredibly in love with my fiance, who is a man, and I cannot imagine being with anyone other than him. But I've never actually been in a relationship with a female. But I find myself more and more interested in girls that I run across. More and more invested in those types of relationships. However, I am engaged to the person of my dreams, who happens to be a man, and I am faithful to him, and I love him. But it's weird because I feel like, especially right now, there's a little bit of gatekeeping towards bisexuals. And that if you are bisexual, you are not gay enough for LGBTQ spaces. Also, in that way, I don't feel comfortable advocating for myself, because I've never been with a woman. And I'm engaged to a wonderful man. So going anywhere with him, it feels weird. I don't want to go to LGBTQ spaces, because I feel like these spaces were not made for me. And I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable that those spaces were made for, It's especially hard when a large majority of my friends, my coworkers, whatever, are very gay and very open about being gay. And all I want to do is go to these gay bars, go to these parties, etc., whatever, with my partner, whom I love. And I want to be able to be there without feeling like I'm invading a space that is made for others. It's hard. Bi erasure is definitely a thing. And it's especially hard because, like I said, I've never actually had any sort of relationship with a woman. So in some ways I still feel straight. I still feel heterosexual. I didn't really realize how interested in girls I was until after I was already dating my current partner. And by that time, I didn't want to date anyone else, I had already found this person that I wanted to be with, who just happened to be male. And it wasn't until later that I kind of realized, I think I might be interested in girls. But by then it was well, I don't want to break up with my fiance for this. But I also don't know exactly where my space is in those kind of places, I guess. If you happen to be LGBTQ and you're listening to this bizarre ramble, I don't know why you made it to 40 minutes, but if you did, I guess let me know what you think about all of this, I want to be respectful. I want to make sure that those in that situation feel comfortable with where they are and who they're with without the fear of, I mean, I present very heterosexual. I'm with a male partner. I don't want to say I'm 100% feminine presenting. I'm like mostly feminine presenting. There was a time when I had really, really short hair and I could kind of like pass as non-binary. That's not the right word. I'm so sorry. When I could kind of present as androgynous, that's definitely the better phrase. And like I said, I've been definitely attracted to women in the past. I've just never actually been on a date with a woman or anything like that. I mean, I've kissed plenty of women, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Utena made me think about this. Because she's either lesbian or bi or pan, depending on how you read it. She's definitely not straight, so that's something. I didn't even bring out all the scars and stuff I meant to bring out today. Okay. I don't know, how much can I tie this around? This is such a weird trigger. And if I didn't love it myself, I would be very confused. Anyway, so there's one more scarf, I don't know what to call it, the piece of fabric, I guess, that I wanted to bring out. So this is actually an obi, or the piece of cloth that ties around your waist for a kimono. I like it because it's really textured. I don't even know, does it have something stretchy in it, or is it just the way it's sewn together? Anyway, I really like this thing. It's really nice. Anyway, it's this very long piece of cloth, and although it's not technically a scarf, it's very textured, and it kind of fits in with the color scheme. So I thought it was nice to bring out. My obi. And maybe sometime I'll actually wear the yukata that this goes with. The yukata itself is pink. It's like a very light pink. And I think it has like kind of orangey flowers on it. I'm not even sure how to tie this. Like, I don't want to put it on my head. Should I put it on my head and then also around my mouth? Is that weird? Okay. I feel like I should use this as a trigger because it makes lots of really nice sounds. Okay. I don't even know. Can you just tell I'm messing around at this point? I feel like my favorite ASMR videos are just when I just start, like, I just stop caring about the video itself and just kind of like, just kind of be myself, you know? Even if I can't see anything. I don't have an excuse for this. I'm just being goofy at this point. Anyway, wearing this bizarro thing on my head.
no idea how weird it is that I've decided to create ASMR. I only recently got into ASMR, really, like, within the last 6 months. Like, it hasn't been that long. I can breathe. Oh my goodness. At this point, I'm just being a total goober. I never in a million years thought I would be making, or attempting to make, I guess, ASMR videos. What am I even doing? This looks obnoxious. I never in a million years thought I would. I couldn't take this seriously. I never in a million years thought I would be creating ASMR in any way, let alone that I would even enjoy ASMR. You know, it's kind of like this weird joke between my friends group that I'm like the aggressive one. I'm the aggressive one and the loud one. So the fact that I'd be creating anything with the intent for relaxation or sleep is just wild. It's wild.
Why would I ever do something like that? That's not like me at all. And part of me feels like, am I even showing my personality in these videos? They're an artistic pursuit. Like, I'm creating a video. I'm talking about myself. I'm showing off all the weird stuff that I have that I like. But am I being true to myself, you know? I think, especially recently, I think some of my older videos, I was trying so hard to be an acceptable ASMR artist. I made acceptable ASMR, you know? And things smell weird now. I think at some point I just realized that just because I like ASMR and just because I want to make ASMR, it doesn't mean that I can't be my weird old goofy self. So thank you if for whatever reason you managed to stick around this long. Thank you for being here for my bizarro ASMR. My weird scarf masking video. Thank you for being here. I love chatting with you. I hope that I will be able to show you guys a bit more of my bizarre personality as time goes on. But thank you for being here with me. Farewell, and I will see you later.